And welcome back. Once again, we're visiting with Bruce Porter over at the Resource Center. Today we're going to talk about something that we really don't like, inflation. Inflation, it's bad, Bruce, it's bad.
Inflation is creeping up on us, and the media is not really discussing it that much. You know, if I look back last year, inflation was pretty well under control. For 20 years, it's run a little above 2%, and it had come down to 1.4 last year. So that's the cost of goods and services. But what we don't realize that in the last 7 months now, inflation has went up 386% in 7 months. It's astronomical growth. It's went from 1.4 to 5.4%, and it's rising.
Yeah.
And that is something we all need to be made aware of, because that erodes our Brucey bucks.
Oh gosh, and the Brucey bucks don't go as far as they used to, and that's not good. But we are going to talk about this today, and we are noticing, and I think any of us that ever go buy anything are noticing that prices are higher. You mentioned the 2%. Is that a healthy inflation rate, is 2% roughly?
Right, healthy inflation. That I guess the political environment, the politicians tell us, the economists,
Yes.
they tell us 2% is healthy. It's like growth in the stock market. A 7, 8, 9% growth pattern in the stock market is healthy. Inflation at 2% is healthy. Cost of goods and services. Now, we want our pay to keep up with inflation, and usually it does not. So if inflation is low, we are more apt to stay in pace with the rising cost of goods and services with our incomes. Now, if inflation gets high, pay is not going to keep pace with that. It never has. And so we're going to have a very inverse relationship with our money. It's going to come in and it's going to go out quicker than it did a year ago, to the tune of 386%.
And
Faster,
much of it is supply and demand. Is it possible that this will be over eventually when all of the pandemic has hopefully passed?
Well, we have not felt the global economic effect of COVID has not been felt yet. We realize it a little bit if you've been to the grocery store lately, if you've been past a car dealership lately. You have to order things. You can't just go buy off the shelf. I know for a while washers and dryers were hard to come by, refrigerators were hard to come by, vehicles hard to come by. What's the price of fuel done since January 6th?
It's gone up.
Well, I mean, so now, I guess the attitude is we beg for oil now instead of produce our own. So that, all of this is going to be related with economics. So when the effect of COVID finally comes down, it's why I advocate to our clients, plan for changes in the future, plan when you're retired to save money, plan while you're raising your family. Everybody needs to plan, and so many people don't plan.
Right, and that's why we're having this conversation now, and we've got a minute or so left. So what do we do? How do we make it better?
Well, so what you do, you avoid long-term fixed income accounts. So if you're retired and you're looking for something that's going to create some additional revenue, you avoid long-term fixed income investments. If you're a stock person, you look for dividend-paying equity-type stocks, and that way you get to take advantage of excess income that companies make is called dividends.
Right.
So you get to take advantage of that regardless of what the common stock price is doing. Now, if you're more conservative, you'd look for more stable environment than instead of throwing everything in a bank CD, which is not paying anything. Look to insurance companies with fixed or index type annuities that offer guaranteed income options. Now, when inflation is doing this and we're looking for income to supplement, but we don't have a risk tolerance, what do? You look for tools that are going to provide guaranteed income options. Then spend wisely. When you're retired, you need to budget. I encourage all of my retirees to save money even though they're retired. Now, the advantage of having sustainable income, if you're retired, that income comes every month. So if you spend every bit of it, that's fine. You get it next month also. So you can rest easy knowing that you have money coming, and then meet your financial person on a regular basis. Too many people go too long without having a discussion with their financial person. If you're having trouble getting that done, call me. I'll be glad to meet with you and discuss your stuff, and then we can go from there.
Yep, he's that financial person. He's got a whole staff of experts behind him. Come see Bruce Porter at the Resource Center.
Yep.
For customized financial solutions that help protect your assets and pursue a confident future for you and your loved ones, contact the Resource Center at 417-882-1800 or resourcecenterinc.com.